weigh-ins, we continued to intake water the whole time. So he was pushing like 10 ounces every hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SuppTalk Radio. Today, I'm excited for another new guest. We have a husband, a father, and not a one, but a two-time Pro Card IFBB winner. Folks, allow me to introduce Nick Vuocolo to the podcast. Nick, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well, my friend. Thank you so much. I know this is your first time, and hopefully you'll enjoy what we have to talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. It'll be fun.
So, Nick, first off, you were on vacation for the last week or so, and I saw some good pictures, Madame Tussauds. I mean, where did you guys go?
Yeah, we went to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
So that was actually a really good vacation. It was like we planned it right after that last show at Master Nationals. So
Yep.
It was perfect timing, like just to relax, go to the beach all day. It was awesome.
I'm sure you were probably stressed and ready to just kind of eat a little bit more normal and not have to worry about being in the gym and doing whatever 30, 60 minutes of cardio.
Exactly. But I still went to the gym every day. I still need to get my gym time in, though. I just woke up early, got that done, and then spent the rest of the day with the family.
So now is the rest of your family, are they into like fitness and whatnot like you are, or are you kind of the lone wolf a little bit?
No, yeah, I'm definitely the lone wolf. Besides my brothers, though, like my brothers and stuff, they're all into bodybuilding and lifting weights. Like my dad was too, because that's where we all got it from, basically.
Yep. So now let's talk for a minute here while it's still fresh in our minds here. You walked into the U, obviously didn't place the way you wanted to.
No.
Came back, you did the Masters National, obviously kicked ass and took names.
Yeah.
One of my good friends and someone you know, Mike Von Rotes.
Yes. Well,
Team U.
Yes.
And he one of the questions he said was, what was your mindset? How did your mindset change going from the U into the Masters National?
Right. But basically, I was so upset at Team U, like my placing. I was like, this is crazy. But then like I talked to my coach and then he was like, you're fine, just calm down. And then so I was like, all right, this was the plan the whole time anyway, just to do Team U and then go right to Master Nationals.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, I'm ready for that. So after that placings, I was like, let's go. Time to push.
So, Nick, respectively, were you a little off at the U, or is everybody like a little bit better? I don't know if that's the right question to ask you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, my conditioning, I think, was the best on the stage. But the one guy that won, he was a little bit bigger. It seemed like his back, he had more standout body parts, I would say. Like his back was crazy.
Yep.
So, like, I could see why they picked him over me because maybe I wasn't as big, but I was definitely most conditioned guy up there, though.
I know that's always the question. Like anything, judging is so subjective. Do you want mass or do you want lean and ripped?
Right, exactly. And that's what it seems like at the universe is like they reward the guys that are more like muscle bound, I would think.
Yep.
Over conditioning. That's what I think. I don't know though.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you did it, like there were over 35 masters in the U also, right?
Yes, yeah. And that I didn't even come in the first call out. I came in the second call out in the middle there, but I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But then the thing was like some of the guys went to Team U, the Master Nationals, and I beat them, the same guys.
Yeah, it's weird how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, right. So I'm like, what is this? Crazy.
So what changed, either diet, training, whatever, from you to Masters?
Okay, that's where me and my coach got together and we're like, I looked a little flat, so we pushed more like carbs and stuff, and we actually had like a cheat meal, like not a cheat meal, but like a burger and fries the night before.
Yep.
So we did that, and then also this whole time, like right before, like the day before and after weigh-ins, we continued to intake water the whole time. So he was pushing like 10 ounces every hour at Team U. Team U, we didn't even do that. We just did a little bit here and there with the food to push the carbs around.
Okay.
So that was crazy. Like I never did that before, having water like that all the way up till showtime.
Yeah, you know how it is. Again, it's a gamble because it's like carbs and water, and do you play sodium? Do you not play sodium?
Yes,
But
yeah.
but obviously that cheat meal, the burger, the sodium, the carbs, everything worked out for you.
Yeah, right. Because I was probably a couple pounds heavier for Master Nationals. So
Okay,
maybe that was it.
interesting.
I
So
know.
the week of we'll say the nationals where you took it all. I
Yeah.
mean, we did you feel better? Did you look better? I mean, did you think, oh, I got it this week or what?
That's what I mean. Like I did, and then I didn't, because then I had kept having doubt from like placing at Universe. I was like,
Yeah,
is this going to happen again, or like? But then like I basically look at the guys. I mean, you can't tell that much, but look at the guys backstage, and I usually look at their glutes and their hamstrings and stuff
of
like that,
course.
and I'm like, all right, I think I'll do good. So I did.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
what was it a week between or 2 weeks between? I don't
It was
remember what
like
the timing
it
was.
was a week and a half, because that show starts on weigh-ins is Tuesday, and
Okay.
we went on Wednesday, so it's
Oh,
really
interesting.
yeah, it's like yeah, so it starts on Wednesday all the way to Saturday.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the classic guys went on Wednesday.
So now at Masters, did you think you were winning both divisions
No,
or what?
well,
Okay.
not until like it was after we went on stage, and then they put the first call out in. I was like, all right, cool, cool. So I'm
Yeah.
first call out in both 35 and 40. And then we started going through the poses, and then they switched me right in the middle of the box, like not in the box, but like to the side of the box. So I know
Yep.
I was, and I stayed there the whole time. So I was like, okay, first or second. Then I did it
Okay.
again in 35 and plus. I was like, they did the same thing, first or second. I was like, holy crap. I was like, I have a chance to win both classes. That was
Y-
gnarly.
Was it the same competitors or similar competitors in both classes?
Some of them were, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but there were other ones 35 and older that were probably just 35, and they just did the 35 and older one. But the one guy, he was in 40 and over. He came second place to me.
Okay.
He was in 35 and older too.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think he came in fifth, and he's a good guy too. Like we were backstage, like bantering back and forth with each other and stuff like that. Like he was like, "You and me, brother. You and me. You and me. We're up there." I was like, "All right." So
Do you
there was cool guys up there too.
do you enjoy that when you're backstage? Because I know some people like to kind of mix it up with people, and some people headphones, hoodie, and don't bother me.
Exactly. Sometimes I'm like just strictly business,
Yep.
and then other times I'm like more relaxed. This time I felt more relaxed. Maybe that's what helped me on stage to have less
Cortisol was
stress.
lower.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So they announce you have your pro card, you get your first pro card.
Yeah.
Is it out of body? Are you excited? Are you like, are you,
Uh,
do you hear your name? I mean, does it resonate or no?
Not really, because I'm waiting. So waiting for fifth. They call fifth, fourth, third. So then second, I'm like, okay, I'll be either first or second. I was like, please don't call my name. And then they called the other guy's name, and I was like, holy crap! It was just like awesome. Like I can't explain that feeling. It's like
Yeah.
I worked this whole time for this, and this has actually happened. So it
So
felt like
then,
a dream.
so then you go out for a second post down now for the other class?
Yeah, well, then I went back in line, and they were like, "All right, 35 and olders." They pulled the first call at top five, because they only the top five do the posing routine. So the girl was like, "All right, come over here on this side." So then we went and did our posing. Well, actually, you only do your posing routine once, since I was in two classes. So
Okay.
then they lined us up again, and then same thing: fifth, fourth, third, second, and then I was like, holy crap. I was like, I got two. That was so awesome. Crazy.
Oh my God. I know
I
it.
know.
and it's rare, but it's not as rare because I'm hearing people now like surprise themselves by winning multiple cards. I have a friend who won 4 cards at the
Yeah.
Team U last year. He won like a 45, a 50, and a 60 and something else
Wow, that's crazy.
in
Because
bodybuilding.
that's what happened to me last year. I did Team U, and then I went to Master Nationals. So Team U, I got second place. I was like, holy crap, I almost got my pro card. So I
Yeah.
was like, let's do Master Nats. And then last year I got second place in 35 and older, and then second
Okay.
place in 40 and over. So I was like right there. But the guy that won, he won 45 and older, and then he won 40 and over.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it was close by like 1 point on the scorecard. So
Wow.
yeah,
So you come off stage and obviously it's hitting you. So I'd
yeah.
love to ask this question. How long did it take you to get on your Instagram and add those 4 little letters?
I see. I was waiting. Actually, I waited till the weekend because I was
Okay.
like, let me wait a little bit before I do this.
Yeah.
But when I finally did it, everyone's like, go messaging me on Instagram, like, change your name, man, change your name. I was like, I will, I will. Yeah, that's like a rite of passage right there.
Yes, I know. Four little letters carries a big long weight to it.
Well, exactly. Like that's what I was saying on Instagram. Like I didn't have that many followers on Instagram before this. I maybe
Yeah.
had 800 or some. All of a sudden, like I started getting tagged in like friend or not friend requests, but like
Yeah,
followers.
yeah.
I was like, holy crap! I'm like the 5,000 some now. I was like, what? I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Take it
Crazy.
as an accolade, man. Because I know
Yeah,
when you're older, like you and I are,
yeah,
we play with social media, but we're not like an 18-year-old on it.
exactly. Well, that's why I was before. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, it's fun to look at different things and your competition, other bodybuilders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't into it that much. Now that like people were tagging me on stuff and showing me videos of the show, I was like, and then they were tagging my names and stuff, and then I just started getting more followers. I was like, what? This is crazy.
So now are you trying to be conscious, or is the wife or anybody chirping in your ear? Look, honey, you got to post at least once a day, once a week, something.
Well, see, I'm actually into it now. Like I'm like
Okay.
actually checking Instagram now, like making sure posting things. And my wife's like, "What are you doing? You changed already?" I was like, "No, I didn't change. I was like, I'm just having fun with it." That's what I tell her.
You tell honey it's part of the job now. You're married to a
Exactly,
superstar.
exactly. That's what she's like.
Uh,
All right. And then that's basically Instagram's what helped me get this supplement contract with I Prevail.
oh,
Like,
interesting. Let's
because
talk about that. Yeah. How did you and Jason
yes,
get together then? Let's talk about that.
well, that's what because I was watching your podcast with Michael,
Yeah.
and I seen Michael, like I met him at Universe, and we were up getting ready to go tanning or something, and I
Okay.
met him there. I was like, this dude is huge. I was like, good thing I'm not in bodybuilding, because I was like,
Yeah.
as soon as I saw him, I was like, he's gonna win. Like, I was like, this dude's nuts. So then I was watching your podcast, and then he was talking about I Prevail and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, because there was a couple of companies that like messaged me on Instagram about
Yeah.
stuff, but they were all like, oh, well, you'll be a ambassador or whatever they're called,
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I just like whatever. And then Michael said that he messaged them. So that's what I did. I was like, I messaged them on Instagram and I explained everything, what I did. And he's like, all right, yeah. Like, he's like, give me your phone number and I'll give you a call. I was like, all right. So then we talked on the phone. I was like, Jason is awesome. I was like, yeah, I love this dude. Like, just by talking to him right away. And then he was
Yeah.
like,
He's
all
got
right,
that. It's a New Jersey attitude. Just I like.
yeah,
It's the type of people I like. Like I don't give a fuck, but yet the nicest
yeah,
guy in the world.
exactly. Because like we were talking on the phone and we are talking about stuff, and then he's watching the Olympics, and I was watching it too, but not at that time. And he's like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "Did you see the race on the TV?" I was like, "No, I didn't. I'm not watching it right now." And he was like stopped in the middle, like, "Holy crap! This guy won right now." I was like, "What?" That was pretty
Oh
funny.
my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah,
wait until you meet him in person. Again, one of the nicest. I've known Jason for years, And I
Oh,
finally had the
okay.
pleasure to meet him at the Arnold earlier this
Uh,
year, and
oh,
just one of the
wow.
nicest guy. And he was, I mean, he was fierce back in the 2000s when he competed. He was a really good competitor,
Yeah,
but
well, I looked him up on YouTube and stuff. He looked really good.
yeah, he was during a lot of the generation where there was a lot of jarring and a lot of smack talking, and it was
Yeah.
almost like wrestling theatrics back when he competed a little bit.
Okay, that's pretty cool though, because I
Yeah.
like wrestling too. So
Okay. So
actually,
Nick, take
do
go
you
ahead.
see that? Do you think I look like John Cena?
Maybe a little bit, but
Okay, because like my wife doesn't think so, and I don't really think so either. But everywhere I go, they're like John Cena. I'm like, what? They always think I'm John Cena. I'm like, no, I
Well, you're
don't
big and
think.
muscular too. I mean, that probably
Maybe
helps a little bit.
that's why. I don't know. It's like because when I was down at Myrtle Beach, I was at the gym, and the one guy was like, "Yo, Cena." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You look like John Cena." I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." And I get it all the time. It's crazy.
That'll explain your picture when you're holding the belt next to the wax one of him. Okay,
Exactly.
that explains it.
That's why I did it. I was like, "Holy crap, John Cena's here." I was like, nobody was around because they were like, "You can't do certain poses." So I was like, took my shirt off real quick and then got the belt. I was like, "I'm taking this picture."
Yeah, now if I could only tap into his bank account.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So Nick, take us back to teenage Nick. Where like what were you like in high school?
Yeah. Basically, I was athletic where I played sports and stuff like that, but like my main sport was baseball. I love
Okay.
baseball. That's all I did since I was like 4 years old. That was my sport, stuff like that. And then I also played soccer and a little bit of football. But then actually, like my father, he's the one that pushed me into like lifting weights and stuff like that,
Okay.
bodybuilding. He was the one that was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger because we watched all those movies like
Oh yeah.
Predator. That's one of my favorite movies ever. And
Okay.
he would go to the gym all the time, every day, basically. Him and this other guy were his training partner. They would go every day. And then I was finally like, when can I go? I want to go to the gym. He's like, all
Okay.
right. But we had stuff in the garage too that he would uh, use sometimes. So he's
Yeah.
like, we'll start there. And then basically, I think I was like 12. Then we started in there, like learning how different exercises and stuff like that,
Yeah.
get all the basics down. And then probably by like 15, he actually took me to the gym and he was like, all right, you want to start training? Let's start training then. So I started basically when I was 15, really.
Okay.
But then it was like off and on, off and on. Not until I would say in my 20s, then that's when I got serious about it. But I never
Okay.
competed though. Like that was never my goal to compete.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. But then like by the time actually I was 34, and then I was like, let me get a coach. Let me see. I was like, I want to get ripped because I never was ripped. I was bigger, but I was never ripped. So I was
Okay.
like, let me just diet down with a coach and let's see if I can get ripped. And then, so my coach Scott McNally, do you know him?
I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my coach, and he was like, "All right, let's go through a prep, but not do a show." So I was like, "All right." So I must did a 16-week prep. I was
Okay.
shredded, but I was small because I guess the first time you diet, you think you have more muscle than you do,
You're
and then
lean ripped. It's what I call lean ripped.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And I was like maybe 170, like
Okay.
at my height. So I was kind of small, but I was ripped. And then I was like, okay, now I know that I can do a diet and do this because it was hard. Don't get me wrong, but I
Yeah.
was like, I can do this. So then the next year, that was 2017, and then 2018, I was like, Scott, I want to do a show. He's like, all
Okay.
right. So he's like, all right, you can do it. So we actually picked a Pittsburgh show,
Okay.
and that was like he said, that's one of the bigger shows for the NPC. He's like, if you can hang with those guys and stuff like that, then you're pretty good. I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So we did a prep for that, and then I did. I mean, it was hard doing that prep because the kids were young too. I think they were like four,
Oh,
five.
geez. Okay.
Yeah, trying to do a prep. And I was like, okay. So I was like, if I could do this, and then I did that show, and I won true novice, the novice class, and then I was a middleweight that year, and I got like top 5. So I was like, this is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, this is good. And then so I didn't take a complete year off. I took a little bit off until next show season, 2019. And
Okay.
then my second show was I think it was called the Hercules Classic. I think they changed their name
Okay.
because they had like somebody else had that name. But I did that show and I was a light heavy. So I went from 175 to 190 within that time. That was like my
So
first.
open bodybuilding, this Nick, or were you classic physique then?
See, I just did bodybuilding then.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even think about doing classic then. So I
Okay.
was like, it was all strictly bodybuilding. So I did that. Same with the first show in Pittsburgh. I was just doing bodybuilding because
Yep.
the guys backstage at Pittsburgh were like, "Are you doing classic?" I was like, "No, just bodybuilding." They were like, "You should really think about classic." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I just shrugged it off. I was like, "I want to be a
Yeah.
bodybuilder." I was like,
Of course.
that's all I was focused on. So then 2019, I did that second show and I came up to 190. So I was in the light heavyweight class. There wasn't a
Okay.
lot of guys there, but I won the class and then I won
Awesome.
the overall there. I was like, what?
Wow.
At my second show, I was like, I peaked already. What? So I was like, what is this? So then I was like, let me do another show just with more competition that same year. It was like a month later. It was
Okay.
it was called the Big Cat Classic. And there were more guys in that show. So I won my class, the light heavyweight class in bodybuilding, but I lost the overall. I was like, that's good though. I was like, I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 2020 was COVID year. So I took that off.
Okay.
And then 2021, I did a warm-up show basically because I wanted to see. I forget the name of. You know what it was called, UPC or something. It was
Okay.
Ultimate Geek Championship. So I did that, and I didn't place that great. I think I won. I was in third in light heavies for bodybuilding, and
Okay.
then the PA part, like the Mr. Pennsylvania part, I got second. So
Okay.
I was like, whatever. Then I already had my mindset for USAs that year.
Oh wow.
I shouldn't have done it, but I was like, it's good. I was like, we're gonna take a vacation afterwards and everything like that. So I was like, oh well, I'll just do it because it was in Phoenix, Arizona. So
Okay.
I had to go pretty far away, 5 hours, because I'm like right outside of Philly.
Okay.
And yeah, and then I went there and I was like, these guys are crazy.
Another level.
Yeah, another level. There was 32 guys in the light heavies, and I just barely made light heavies at 198. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the biggest guy there. No, you're not, because I'm like 5'9.5".
And
These
you guys
guys were
come
like
in at 5'5", 5'5" and
exactly,
198.
yeah, exactly, and they
Yep.
were like so much bubbly around. I was like, this is crazy. So I ended up getting third call outs out of 4 call outs. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
yeah, I was like, this sucks. But I was like, it was a good learning experience and stuff, and like seeing all those guys. So I was like, all right. So 2022, that's what I took the whole complete year off. I was like, I have to
Okay.
move up to heavies if I want to be like
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to win, like in bodybuilding. So I was like, let me take a complete year off. And that's what I did. I got up to like 250 on the
Wow.
off season. But then the next year, 2023, I think it was, or yeah, something like that. No, 2030, yeah, because
Okay.
that's the next time I competed. So 2023, I dieted it down. I dieted it down back down to 197. Like I lost 50
Oh
some pounds.
man.
I was like so pissed off because I worked so hard to gain all that weight, and then it just dropped off. I'm like, this is weird. I was like, this is not good.
Yep. Yep.
So then that's when I 2023. That's when I did the UPC show again, the local show. And that's
Okay.
when I was like, actually Scott's wife she was like, he should do classic too. Like he has the classic lines.
Yep.
small waist, stuff like that. I was like, all right, I'll do both of this show. So then I did both at that show. I ended up winning like every class I was in. I did classic in all the classes in both different shows, the PA show and the other show. So I won every class for that. Then I did bodybuilding. I won every class for that, besides the overall for that UPC side of the show. But I ended up winning the PA State Mr. Pennsylvania title. So I was like,
Jeez.
okay. I came home with like 9 trophies. They were like, what? Yeah, it was crazy. So then that's when I did Team U after.
Yep.
It came second place in the 40 and over, and then the Masters and the Nationals, where I got second place both times.
Okay.
It was crazy though. I
So
was like,
moving forward, are you now hanging up the bodybuilding trunks and get a safe classic physique, or?
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know why I can't put masks on. I don't, maybe because I'm too old. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I probably could push
Yeah.
it, but do I really want to push it like that at
Well, that's
42?
it. You know, you're older now. You've got a family. You know, you
Yeah,
got more risk now. Let's put it that way.
exactly. That's why I said like stay, because last off season I only got to 230, so
Okay.
it wasn't that bad. Usually I can walk around like 215, 220 without no problem. So 230 wasn't that bad. And then
Yep.
dieted down to 190. I think I was 197, 198, something like that. But I was way more ripped
Yep.
and than last time. So
So Nick, what's the class, the weight class, I guess, or is there one for your division now?
for like the pros,
Yeah, because I always try to keep up, but it seems like every year it goes up like 2 pounds, 3 pounds.
yeah,
I mean, what's your cap for your
yeah,
limit?
that's what it was. Like last year, they upped it for the NPC. So mine was class B and five. I was like 5'9.5". So I could weigh up to 202. So
Okay.
that's why I was like, all right, I can gain a couple pounds and stuff like that. So that was for the NPC. But for the pros, I don't even know what the weight class is now for the pros. I haven't looked it up yet.
Yeah, I feel it's probably going to be maybe not substantial, but you're probably going to be in the low twos, maybe 2.5, 208, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 208, something like that. So that's why after this, like getting my pro card, I'll take the complete year off
Yep.
because my wife was like, anyway, she's like, can we have a break, please? Because the past couple years, like I did show after like show season and then show season. She's like, can we
Yep.
please have a break? I was like, all right, yeah. So this way I can get more muscle, like add a little bit of more size, not crazy, but
Yeah.
and then try do a pro show.
So Nick, how long was prep for the two contests? 16, or what do you generally play at?
We actually started like 20 weeks out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then coasted in because I was actually ready 3 weeks early. So
Oh,
then
okay.
so then we just held that and kept like carving up some and then bring the carbs back down and they would drop the weight and then we would just play with that the whole time until universe. So it was a good prep, I think. Like I didn't have to do that much cardio. Like I was only doing 40 minutes of cardio a day. So
One session or multiple?
yeah, one session, that was it.
Okay.
So that wasn't that bad. That was the less I ever did. Usually I would have 2 sessions, one in the morning fasted and then the other after working out. But
Yep. So I could see where your wife would say, yeah, 20 weeks, that's almost half a year, a little bit shy. And your
exactly.
wife is probably just, come on, honey, let's get through this so we can have a normal life again.
Exactly. Like I wasn't usually I shut down too, like during prep. Like at a certain time, I'm like,
Oh
this is
yeah.
I don't want to do anything. It's like I'm moody and then like I don't want to talk and stuff like that. But like this prep, it wasn't that bad. After yeah, the whole time, all the way up until like a month out, then I started feeling it because I was outside painting the damn railings and stuff like 2 months into like before the show. She's like,
Yeah.
you would never do that any other year. I was like, yeah, this one that seemed different. So
So talk to us about the food prep. I mean, are you low carb, or like walk me through a little bit, like what's a typical day look like? Maybe let's say 8 weeks out.
yeah, 8 weeks out, I was still doing a pretty good amount of carbs. Actually, all the way until 2 weeks, I was still having carbs, and that was rare because we always went no carbs like a month
Okay.
out, something like that. But 8 weeks out, I would have oatmeal in the morning, like 40 grams of oatmeal. And then
Okay.
I would have like pre-workout meal. I would have a cup and a half of rice. Then I
Okay.
would lift, and then I would have another cup after the workout but so that was a lot of carbs for me. I never had that many carbs.
Are you a white rice or jasmine, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, I like jasmine rice. That's
Yeah,
tastes the
same here.
best.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I can't eat any other. I used to do brown rice when I first started. It's horrible.
I feel it's
It's like,
heavier on the system. I don't know.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't taste good.
What about protein sources? What do you go to protein sources?
Usually, mine's ground turkey. Like in the off season and stuff, like that's
Okay.
what I like to eat, ground turkey, 93.7 ground
Yep.
turkey. But
Okay.
then like during prep, like we switched to all chicken. So I did that for a while. And then the last month we just switched to white rice. Usually
Okay.
tilapia.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Okay.
don't like that?
I'm not a fish person at all. I mean, I competed
Uh,
many, many, many years ago, and I was just chicken and rice, like, 24
yeah,
7. That was my thing.
yeah, yeah. Like it seemed like the fish just burned through me real quick. Like I was always hungry with the fish. It never satisfied me at all. Like the chicken was better, but the
Yeah.
fish it just seemed like it burned through me. It's crazy.
So now is your wife physically cooking like two meals, like one for her and the kids and one for you? What are you cooking your own meals?
I cook my own meals
Okay.
because she's like sometimes if I'm in like a bind or something, I'll be like, tell my wife, can you please cook this? She's like, yeah, I'll cook it. But usually, yeah, she'll cook for the kids and her one meal, and then I'll make
Okay.
my food in bulk basically and then put it in the fridge. Because
Yep.
that's another thing. Like sometimes I wouldn't eat with the family. Like I'll eat with the family. I just have my tub of chicken and
Yep.
rice. And she's kind of sick of it.
What about eggs? You
So
egg person? You an egg person?
yeah, usually we during prep it was usually eggs, one whole egg or two whole eggs, and then the rest
Okay.
egg whites. So yeah, that I used to drink my egg whites. Did you ever do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, back in the 90s, I think that's
Yeah,
how scary how we do it based on Rocky and whatnot. And now it's
yeah,
like, you don't want to do it. Everyone's like salmonella. Look, I used to put two eggs, raw eggs in my shakes. I'm still
yeah,
here kicking, never had an issue.
exactly. Like I see, like couple of years ago when I first started, I would just get those cartons of the egg
Oh, the egg
whites.
whites. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pasteurized though, I think. So it's not that bad, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I think you don't risk the salmonella. I think it's like the regular eggs, yeah.
Yeah, so anytime like I had egg whites on my diet, I would just drink it. So it wasn't bad though. Now
Yeah,
I
so I
cook
was
better.
I was using that, when the eggs like during COVID were going for like 6, 7,
Yes,
$8 a dozen. I actually thought it was
yes,
cheaper to buy the cartons,
yes, true. Yeah, exactly.
and just put a little fat-free cheese in there just to kind of thicken it up and give it a little
Yeah,
body to it.
yeah, that's perfect. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So what's your training like?
uh Usually we always do push pull legs, that
Okay.
type, and then we'll do a top set and then back off set. And that's what I've been doing basically. Yeah, usually I do it all the time. But last year after the show, I went back to like a bro split for a little
Sure.
bit just to change it up. And that's what I did again this past after the Master Nationals. I went back to a bro split for a little bit,
Okay.
but then I'll go back to push pull legs. Seems
So
like
you like
I can get,
2 on, 1 off, or like what do you kinda generally stick to?
usually I'll do push pull legs and then I'll take off and
Okay.
then just restart it basically. Unless I need to take a day off, like I'm dragging, then I'll take a day off. But
Okay.
usually I'll go like 3 days and then take a day off.
What about rep ranges? Yeah, do you have a goal you stay in?
Yeah, usually the top set is 8 to 12. And then
Okay.
the back off set will go later and I'll go to like 12 to 15.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now as you look forward to 26, because it sounds like you're taking next year off,
Yes.
what do you want? Is there something specific you're gonna be bringing up, or you bringing up the whole body?
Uh they're saying my lower body's better than my top. So
Okay.
I probably more delts and more chest, stuff like that. And then my weak point was always my back too, like the width of my
Okay.
back.
Yep.
So that too. And then glutes. I never really have glutes. Like I can get my glutes shredded, but they're not round, like big. So I was like, maybe I should start adding more glute work. I don't know.
Isn't that funny how the whole competition has shifted? That it's
Yes,
like that's the litmus now. If you don't have shredded glutes, you're not in shape.
exactly.
For the guys, no less.
Exactly. That's what my coach was saying. Like my glutes weren't coming in at all. And then
Yep.
finally, that last, I don't know, 2 weeks, they started having lines in them. But they're not big because my glutes aren't big. So
Yeah.
they're not like a lot of lines. But you can see at the bottom of the classic shorts, like they're striated. So I was like,
Yep.
I got them, but it like my glutes aren't big though.
That's another thing that's changed over classic physique is the shorts. The shorts
Yeah,
were almost like spandex when they first came out years ago.
yeah, they covered a lot more. Now it
Yeah.
seems like they're showing more of the glutes and stuff like that.
Yep. Yep. So Nick, when you're out of the gym, what do you do to keep the body healthy? You cold therapy, massages, cryotherapy. What do you do to keep that going on the outsides?
Yeah, usually for a while there, I was going to chiropractor, stuff like that.
Okay.
But like it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It was like $60 and he wanted me to go every week. So I did that for a couple months and I didn't really, I don't know. I guess I saw a benefit, but not enough benefit to keep going. So, but then now I do deep tissue massage, stuff like that
Okay.
every month. So that ain't that bad.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have your eyes set on a certain show? I know it's early, but are you looking at a certain show or
I was already looking actually because uh the Tampa Pro,
okay?
they actually have a master's class and the open class for classic.
Yes, I know. It's a great show. All in all, it's
Yeah.
a great show.
Yeah. And then I can talk my wife into it by saying after the show we can get vacation in Tampa.
You can take
So
the kids, you head over to Disney, it's an hour and a half away.
exactly. That's what I mean. So it would be perfect.
Was your at what point when you started competing, did you get the bug that says, "Okay, I like this. I'm gonna become a pro." Was like instantaneously or
Yeah,
3, 4
basically
shows in?
after the first show, like at the Pittsburgh, they had all those guest posers. That's the one where they have
Oh,
all
yeah,
those.
anybody shows up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like that whole atmosphere was crazy. Like seeing the pros walk around and like
Yep.
I was hooked right away. Like right after that show, I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. So
Okay.
yeah, I was like, I never thought I would become pro because I
Yep.
remember sitting with my wife one time and like talking like uh I'm going to get into bodybuilding and all this stuff, and she was like, okay, but I was like, I'll probably never be a pro though. I never thought I would. So that was a goal, but I didn't think it would be achieved.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
it was so
Did you go to
awesome.
the Pittsburgh last year, the one that Derek stepped on stage and blew up?
No, no, that would have been cool to see though.
That's the one, yeah, that everybody keeps talking about. It's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, exactly. He's nuts.
Yeah, oh, I know, I know. So do you follow the bodybuilding as a sport or do you stick
Yeah, yeah. I follow that too. Like Samson, I want Samson to win, like, but he needs to come in conditioned a little bit more. I like
Yep.
the his shape and everything like that. So, and
So
then
give me so I did this to Mike though. Give me a quick top 3 prediction for the Olympia, and then I'll throw you in a spot for the classic physique.
okay, okay, jeez,
And we can laugh
uh,
at this in 3 months or whatever, 2 months and kind of compare and contrast.
yeah, right, exactly. For the open bodybuilding, I would go. I think Derek will win again,
Okay.
and then I would say Samson, but
Really? Over Hottie. Okay.
that's see, I like Samson's physique better than Hottie, the way it flows and everything. I like Hottie, but I like Samson's flow and everything. I don't know. If he can
Okay, but
come in,
what about Samson against Andrew Jack though? I mean, you've seen Andrew
well,
Jack from last weekend.
yeah, I just saw last weekend Andrew Jack and he looked nuts. So
Yeah.
that'll be cool comparison between those two.
Yeah.
You think Andrew Jack is going to be like top three?
No, I don't. I think it's going to be Derek and Hottie again, 1 and 2,
Okay.
and it's that gamble. You know, I'm a Samson fan as well since day
Yeah.
one when he kind of burst on the scene in 21.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if he's like 37, 38. I don't want to talk ill of him, but I
Yeah.
don't know if his window is lessening now
Closing.
as he
Yeah.
gets older.
Right.
Um, But I mean, he's making all the right moves. I mean, people say about his back's getting better and better every year.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So I don't know. And again, you can't count on Nick Walker. I mean, Nick Walker's like the dark horse almost.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Then you got Nick coming this year. So
Yeah.
you
But
think he could win though, Nick?
I don't know. I mean, I like him, and I compare him to like Branch Warren, where he has a very unique physique. It's like you can put Derek and Hottie together. You can maybe
Right.
put Samson and Andrew together. But
Exactly.
with Nick, it's like he's almost got his own unique body. Who do you can really compare him to?
Right. Exactly. I don't think there is anybody.
I'll tell you who I like though is Martin Fitzwater. I think he's going to surprise people. Martin, and I'm also Tonio. I'm friends with Tonio Burton. I like him
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Antonio is nuts. Crazy.
Yeah, and he's a small guy too. It's like 215.
Yeah. Well, I think I saw him backstage, not backstage, but at the Universe. I was just like, holy crap, this dude is huge. Yeah, he's like not very tall at all, but he's so
No,
round.
he's got that
Crazy.
tiny waist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's another one I like too. Like his flow of his physique.
Yep.
Nuts.
What about classic physique? You think Bumstead's last one, or what do you
Yeah,
think?
I was gonna say this is the last one, and then he'll give it up probably. That's what I
You think
think.
so?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just had a kid too, right? So
Yeah. So who's going to be his successor though? Ramon, or is it going to be Wesley?
yeah, I think Ramon will. I think he'll
Okay.
step in. But then I like Urs too. Like,
I like Urs too, but I still think he needs to do a lot of like size. I think he needs to bring up his size.
yeah. Is he at the top of his weight cap though? Like, can he put
I
on
think he still
size?
has room to grow a little bit.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
I think so. But
Okay.
Wesley's another dark horse. I mean, nobody
Yeah,
expected
true.
Wesley to win both Arnolds this year.
Yeah, true. That's what I mean. He looked crazy this year, so he
Yep.
could be a top 3 guy.
Yeah, I think that's the big gamble thing is Bumstead. I think he's going to compete because some people are saying he's not going to compete. I think he's
Yeah.
going to compete. It's a matter of if he's going to win and hang it up, or he's going to lose and hang it up regardless.
Yeah, right. If he loses, he'll probably definitely hang it up.
Yeah, we shall
Uh,
see.
yeah, exactly. It'll be fun though.
So Nick, what's the day job if you don't mind me asking?
I actually work at Boeing.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I paint helicopters, the Chinook helicopters.
Yep.
So it's a good job, like a great job. I've been working there for 17 years.
Oh
And then
wow. Okay.
yeah, and then everybody there knows I'm the bodybuilder. So like it's worked out basically where I can take every 2.5 hours and eat my food. It's
Yep.
crazy. Even my bosses are like, "Is it time to eat?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's time to eat."
So do you show up with one or two 6-pack coolers every day to work?
Exactly. One. I basically one, but it's filled. It's filled definitely.
So
and
do you
then
do you?
uh and then my
uh,
bosses too, like during prep time, they kind of
Yep.
know I'm in prep because I'm like a little moodier and stuff like
Yep.
that. They're like, but then my face will start getting sunken in too. And they're like, "What is wrong with your face?" They're like, "Oh, you must be on prep." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on prep."
Do you still eat on prep, or do you kind of have you diverted a little bit now that you're kind of a little freer?
Well, yeah, like I would do a couple cheat meals. Like my coach puts a couple cheat meals in a week now, stuff like
Okay.
that. So basically, though, I'm still eating my turkey ground because that's what I go to, ground turkey and
Yep.
rice. But I'll still do that all day. Usually every day, but then I'll have a couple cheat meals. Like I'll definitely do one on Saturday or Friday night, something like that. And then I'll do another one like Tuesday
Yep.
or Wednesday. So
Okay. I hear
yeah.
burgers a lot. Is that the cheat meal, or is there other things too you didn't mention?
Uh Usually it's always burgers and
Okay.
then there's like hoagies. I like hoagies.
Okay.
And what else? I'm a big dessert guy. That
Yeah.
I love donuts and
Okay.
cakes, stuff like that. That's what like I if that could be my only cheat meal is just like desserts, I would do that. But
Oh
I
man.
would end up eating like a dozen donuts though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
So
carb
that's
loading. It's okay. It's a carb load.
exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So we mentioned I prevail earlier. What
Yeah.
supplements do you use?
Uh from iProval, like I
But just in
use
general, I prevail or proteins, anything. What do you
yeah,
use in
okay,
general?
yeah. Like I use protein, creatine, and then like a EAA, like supplement for intra workout, stuff like
Yep.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Basically, basically that's it, I think. Yeah.
Are you a big shake person or no?
Not really. I always like
Okay.
eating food better. The only shake I'll have is at nighttime before bed,
Yep.
2 scoops, and then that's it basically. Because like even during prep, like I'd rather have food than shakes.
Yeah.
Seems like the shakes don't fill me up at all. So
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Generally, sometimes I'll say like a meal, but then a shake just for like the extra calories almost instead of having
yeah,
a
sure.
soda or a glass of water or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with Jason, and we talked off air here, I want to kind of let people know that follow I Prevail. He's got
Yes.
2 new flavors of T2 Sweat coming out, new fat burner, new non-stim, new Rogue X is coming out. He's got a lot of products dropping.
I
And
know.
again, I have the utmost respect for Jason.
Yeah, he's awesome. That's what I mean. I can't wait to try all these products too. So
Yep. So Nick, as we wind down, I told you off air here, I'm gonna kind of hit you with 3 random questions that this has not been rehearsed. You don't know what I'm gonna ask you here.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna start off easy, but then I'm gonna throw a curveball at you at the end here. So
Okay.
what's your least favorite body part to train?
Least I would say arms. Arms
Okay.
are boring to me. So I don't
Do you
really
feel your arms are good though, as they are?
I think my biceps are good. That's one of my best parts, but my triceps, not good.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe I gotta focus on that a little bit more. Triceps.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Like I think I already said it. Predator.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And here's one that everyone's gonna laugh at. What's the last song you sang out loud in the car?
Oh, jeez.
Maybe with the kids or something, getting yourself ready for the
Yeah.
gym?
That's what you know what? Uh Taylor Swift song.
How did I
Forget
know? How did I know?
because my daughter loves Taylor Swift. They both my wife and my daughter went to the Taylor Swift concert.
Okay.
That's all they play is they Taylor Swift. So I've been starting to actually like some of the songs. I'm like, this is crazy. So the one I forget which one it was, but I was definitely singing a Taylor Swift song.
We'll see now if your wife or your daughter catches the end of this when I replay it here to see
Yeah,
if they tell you, well, honey, you sing whatever it is. I don't know. I like
yeah,
her too. I'm
exactly.
not gonna lie. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you got to give her credit, but
yeah, yeah. She's definitely killing it. And she's like with all these concerts and stuff. Like she hasn't stopped.
oh, it's
It's crazy.
ridiculous. I mean,
I know.
I have a friend. I have a friend's, or I should say, a friend's wife that takes her daughter and 2 kids, or one friend, and is always spending like $400 to $500 a ticket.
Well, that's what I said. Like the
Ridiculous.
tickets that my wife got was like $800 for both of them. So $400 a piece. Like what?
Yeah. I like.
Oh, she,
I used to cringe back in the day, going back in the '90s to a concert and paying $90 for a good seat.
right, exactly, exactly. That's what I mean. Like she must be making so much money.
Oh, it's
Crazy.
ridiculous. It's
I
ridiculous.
know.
So what is your genre? I'm assuming more rock because I think I posted something and you're like, "Oh, this is a good song" or something.
Yeah, that was Corn. Yeah, because Corn's one of my favorite rock groups.
Okay.
Corn. What else? I was gonna ask you that for some reason. Do you like Nickelback?
I don't go out of my way to put on my playlist if they're on in the car or come across, but I won't put them on like,
Yeah.
proactively.
Well, exactly. I was thinking about that today because I had that on my playlist for the gym, and I was
Yep.
listening to some of those songs. I was like, I like Nickelback. A lot of people hate Nickelback. I don't mind them.
I think it's just someone because they're almost that in between. They're not like rock and they're not heavy like the Corn or the Disturbs or anything,
Yes, exactly.
so it's almost I don't know, but yeah, I think they don't have their lane, I guess, maybe, and people get
Yeah,
upset about
true.
that.
Yeah. So, that's what I was saying. I like them. Then I like the old school stuff like Pantera,
Yep.
Metallica, stuff like that.
Yeah. What's coming around, I wouldn't mind seeing is Limp Bizkit is I guess I hear he's torn again. I wouldn't mind seeing good old Fred Durst.
Yes. Well, I saw him in when I was in high school. That was one of my
Okay.
favorite bands. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Stain. You remember Stain?
Oh, yeah, another great group. Yeah.
Crazy. I like old Kid Rock.
Yeah.
I think Kid Rock does like country now.
Yeah, he switched pace, and it's funny because I have a 17-year-old son, and
Yeah.
he'll be like, "Dad, have you ever heard this song?" And he'll put on like Rat or Def Leppard or something. I'm like, "You realize that's what I listened to during my generation?" And he gets mad because then I follow up with saying, that shows that your generation's music sucks because you keep playing mine.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go to my era.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
like, "Oh, Dad, you ever hear a group called Iron Maiden?" I'm like, come on. Quiet Riot? Yep, come on.
That's
Uh,
cool. That's
uh,
cool.
oh my god. But Nick, I've really enjoyed the conversation.
Nice.
As we wind down, what's your Instagram? Where can people follow you? Kind
Yeah,
of connect with you?
my Instagram's. I gotta remember it.
Come on, man. You're a
Yeah,
pro. You should know this.
I know it's IFBB _pro _Nick Vuocolo.
So
It's
four
pretty long.
underscores.
Yeah, exactly. Three underscores. So
Three underscores. Okay.
yeah. And then so three. And
Awesome.
also my sponsor code for I Prevail. You
Please.
gotta put that in IFBB Nick 10. And that'll get
Okay.
you 10% off at checkout.
Excellent. And
Yeah.
if you have questions, if people are listening or watching, if you have questions, Jason's very, very good on Instagram. He'll answer any of your needs whatsoever. And obviously, as Nick gets more familiar with the products, I'm sure he'll be there to answer questions too.
Yeah, right. I'm actually going on his IG live tomorrow. So
Oh, all right.
yeah.
I didn't. Okay, so
Yeah.
hopefully I warmed you up for him tomorrow night then.
Yeah, well, that's why I told that's why I told him. I was like, I'm on Sean's podcast tonight. So I was like, that's
Perfect.
good practice.
Well, Nick, again, it's truly been a pleasure. Wishing you much success. I'm obviously all eyes are on you for
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
As I say now, hopefully you've enjoyed yourself. You'd want to come back because we'd love to have you.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to come back. This was fun.
Definitely. And for everybody
Nice.
following, make sure you follow me at SuppTalk _radio. And as always, thank you so much. Have a great night.
See you guys.